That's good. I like that.
All right, so Tyler, what does that do for us now?
We are at $27.4 million in cap space.
So I think the latest numbers project the draft class to cost, I think, $11 million to sign, and then Tom Telesco usually likes to have $7-8 million in reserves. So I think that would put us at like $8 or $9 million left to spend.
Yeah, let me just do that just this year. Let me just pick like a random person. Okay. And just make that the number in 2022. That's the hit. So we just have the number in front of us. So we think $11 million for the. Well, okay. So they need $11 million.
Why did you choose Daniel Sorensen?
Because it's hilarious. So they need $11 million to sign these players. But I believe, during the summer. But then once the guys that the draft picks are replacing leave, they actually only need like 3 or 4 million. Is that correct? So technically they only need like 3 or 4 million, even though like
I'd go on the higher side maybe because they have 11 draft picks this year. So maybe like 5 mil plus the 7 or 8. So probably like 14 mil. Steven, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah,
around there.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to be safe, and I like doing that anyway. And you never know. Like Andre Roberts signed for 1.1 in the middle of the season, so it's definitely useful. Like they do need those emergency funds. Okay, so 14 mil.
Yeah.
Okay. 14 mil for Daniel Sorensen.
Okay, so that leaves us at how much?
14.1 million.
All right. So a couple of people pointing out, obviously, we haven't really addressed the run defense. Obviously, you signed Akeem Hicks. We signed another defensive tackle. What do you guys think here?
Yeah, we go Joseph Day right here, or DJ Jones, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's probably got to be Joseph Day just because that feels like such a shoe-in.
Yeah, I think DJ Jones probably a little bit more expensive, no?
I think it's the opposite, isn't it? Or am I wrong? Where is he?
Well, Steven, do you think DJ Jones is big enough to play nose tackle, or is he like a Justin Jones type player?
I think he's more of a Covington kind of hybrid. Whereas Joseph Day is outright nose tackle. So
yeah, I'd rather just go with the outright nose.
Yeah, then we don't have to worry about drafting Jordan Davis in the first round. Sorry, I had to.
Chill, bro.
You're gonna do this for like 3 more months.
Thank God he didn't go to Utah.
What'd you say?
Thank God he didn't go to Utah. Or Alex.
If he went to Utah, I'd be all for it. But
oh, dude, if we went to Utah, Steven would be trading up to number 1.
All right, so what?
Hey man, I haven't mentioned Devin Lloyd like a single time yet. So
not yet,
but yeah. So Sebastian Joseph Day, I think is 3 for $8 per, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah,
go ahead, Arjun.
Okay, so maybe we go like, again, disregarding the signing bonus or factoring that in, we go 6 mil year 1. Let's do like 8 mil year 2, and then
10 year 3.
Yeah, 10 year 3.
That'd be 24.
Yeah, and so then Brad has 15.5 guaranteed. Let's guarantee his year 1, and then let's do like half of year 2.
Half of his 2023 or half of
that's perfect, and then nothing in year 4 and year 3.
Okay, so basically a 2-year deal. Alrighty, look at that. Things are so much more difficult when you actually do things. So we have $8.8 million in cap space, and boy, do we still have a lot of holes in this roster.
Do we want to go to right tackle now? Because I feel like we haven't addressed that one, and we talked about some guys like Morgan Moses and others.
That's off the table at this point. I think you.
That probably is off the table. So maybe some cheap options. But
I mean, Moses, you could get like I said, the whole point of the low year 1 cap is just like you could fit a lot of people in. So like if you get a more like, sorry, go Steven.
I was just gonna say I see what Arjun's saying, because we can do the low cap hit, $4 million for example in the first year, and we would still be able to sign him. And again, this is just the exercise, right? So and shout out to Tyler's mom, always appreciate the presents and the super chats. So Arjun, do you think Reef is probably more expensive than Moses at this point, or are they about the same?
Yeah, no, I think Reef would be. So the funny thing with Reef is like there's going to be recency bias because the Bengals had like a pretty solid offense and they made the Super Bowl. Plus the bias of you saw how bad the Bengals offensive line was after he got hurt. So yeah, he'll probably command more money than Morgan Moses. And I honestly like I know Reef's injury was probably more of like a freak one, but again, I just want durability. I really don't care. Like anyone's probably an upgrade over Norton at this point. So
yeah.
Just get me someone who can stay on the field and be healthy for at least like 15 games.
Yeah, and I've said this before. Shane Day was on the coaching staff in Washington when Moses was drafted. Day was actually an assistant offensive line coach there, so maybe a little stronger connection than Ryan Ficken and Riley Leaf. So let's do Moses. I think PFF has him 3 for 21. But let's just do a 2-year. I think that probably is kind of where he's at with given his age. So let's do 2 for 14.
So 6 and 8.
Yeah. Or you could do 5 and 7. Do 5 and 7 instead. Sorry, Tyler. Wait, that's 12. Math is hard. My bad. Yeah, do 5 in year 1 and then 9 in year 2.
Arjun has to listen to us figure out how to add numbers to 14 on the show.
I'll get.
I picked biology for a reason, so come on, Arjun, we got this.
I would give. Yeah, and then I would, just assuming factoring the signing bonus, I'd give like 3.5, not fully guaranteed because he's kind of on the older side. So this is just guaranteeing that he makes it to training camp and a high likelihood he's going to be on the roster. I think that's how the salary guarantee would work here.
Okay. So we're at $4.5 million left, and guys, I think something needs to not happen here because unfortunately, most of the other little signings here and there are $1 million, $895,000. I mean, Ode Bougie. I mean, this obviously leaves off Kaiser White. Donald Parham on his tender or whatever it's supposed to be. Justin Hopkins still needs to come back. Matt Overton still needs to come back. Obviously, they're not expensive, but $750,000, $895,000.
So do the tender.